All right, let's get right to it here on The Insider, sponsored by Jiffy Lube. He's James Ham. I'm Kyle Madsen, and joining us now, Coach Ali Farokhmanesh. He has been with Colorado State for the last, I believe, 7 years. Is 7 years now, Coach? You've been in that you've been in Fort Collins?
Yeah, 7 years, going on 8 now. So it's long time.
Well, congratulations on the recent promotion to the head coaching job there. That's outstanding for you. I'm really happy for you. But I want to get to Nique Clifford. We only got a few minutes with you here, but I want to get to Nique Clifford, who you coached over his 2 years at Colorado State with the Rams. What type of player are the Kings getting with Nique Clifford?
And obviously, I think the first thing that comes to mind when you talk about Nique is his versatility. He truly is a two-way player, and I think he showed that both years with us, to be honest. And then the scoring and the shooting and the playmaking really picked up in his second year. But I mean, he's always been an elite rebounder. I think from a guard position, like he's on the Josh Hart type level of rebounding. From a comparison standpoint, to be honest, it's kind of ironic, but I've always because I grew up watching the Kings with them in the Mike Bibby era and whatnot. And Doug Christie comes to mind in some ways. And I think so it's kind of ironic, but I love the way he competes on the defensive end of the floor. But I think in the last year, what he added to his game is the shot making off the dribble, off the move, off the catch and shoot, and then his secondary playmaking skills. There's not a lot of guys that you can say are true wings defensively that also can make plays for others on the other end of the floor too.
You know, Coach, when you're looking at his development, again, it's not like he was being squandered in Colorado, but when he came to you guys, he just took this massive leap. What has he done off the court that makes you feel like he's going to continue this sort of, I don't know, aggressive ascension that he has since joining Colorado State?
Yeah, I don't want to say he changed the way he worked when he got to us, but I think he morphed his thinking and his mentality of the way he worked. We became way more intentional with what he was doing in his development. Because everyone gets in the gym and like he was always going to get better because he loved being in the gym, but the intentionality that he had with his work in terms of his shooting right away when he first got here, we were working on his feet and his balance and then his one motion. And then the next thing we wanted to work on was him playing off 2 feet better. And so once he progressed in that area, then the next year when he came back, it was his shooting off the dribble. And then obviously his ball handling too, because we thought he'd become more of a playmaker in that year too for us. And each one of those things was very specific. And I think you could see that progression happen through those 2 years here. And it all led to this. And it doesn't always work out that way when you have someone that's willing to work, buy into the work. And then the humility that he has, because there's a lot of guys, you tell them what they need to work on and they don't want to hear it. And he was very accepting of what we thought we needed to work on right away. And it was fun to see that progression happen for him that fast. And it's cool to now say that we got 4 guys that are going to be on NBA rosters this coming season.
Talking with Colorado State men's basketball coach Ali Farokhmanesh. Now, Nique could have come out last year in the draft, but he chose to go back to school there in Fort Collins. What was it? What was the reason you think he went back, and B, what were some of the things you think he improved with that extra year in college?
Yeah, honestly, you just don't want to go back to school. That was the biggest thing.
Sure.
Because I mean, you've been in school up to that 4 years. He's graduated already. Like it was that was one of the biggest things to him. And then it got to the point. It was like, everyone says bet on yourself, and that I took that more as bet on yourself to come back to college to improve your stock. And he had basically 7 months with us at that point, from the time he got here in June to the end of that season. So we thought if we had another 9 months to work on his game, that he would change completely, because he made that much progress in essentially 7 months. What would he look like with another 9 months with us? And so specifically right away, it was the shooting off the bounce and the ball handling, because we thought he had Isaiah Stevens the year before that set him up for a lot of plays. And this year we thought he was going to have to make plays for himself and for others more. And that showed up, I mean, in a completely different atmosphere than I think anybody thought, which I thought was ironic. He came out trying to come out the year before, and he only was looked at as a 3-and-D wing. Then this year, now we had teams calling us and being like, well, is he like a secondary point guard type player? And it's like no one even talked to me about that a year ago. So it's a huge credit to him, just buying into that work and also having the humility to understand, like, yeah, I'm not good enough in these areas yet. I need to improve. And he did. He made double the amount of threes he made the year before. And the year before that, he made double the amount of threes that he made previously his entire career at Colorado. So the level of growth and development over the 20 months was something that that's what we pride ourselves on, but that doesn't happen with a lot of kids either.
You know, one of the stats that jump out on his box score for me is his free throw attempts jump from 2.3 to 5 from his fourth to fifth season. And, you know, again, before that, he'd capped out at like 1.53 free throw attempts. That shows me that, number one, he's got the ball in his hands more, but also, number two, he's being more physical going to the basket. Is that something that you guys were able to work with him, sort of the development of the off-the-dribble game and getting to the basket, drawing contact?
Absolutely. It's funny you say that, because that was one of the key things that we thought we needed to develop. If you want to be a true scorer, that doesn't mean just making shots. Like, the best scorers in the world get to the free throw line. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right? Foul merchant. So you look at all those guys, like, the best scorers get to the foul line. When they're not making shots, they're still scoring 4 to 5 points a game just at the foul line. And he did a tremendous job of not only getting to the line, but also converting once he got to the line. So no, you're 100. It's funny you point that out, because we made a sheet prior to the season, and that was one of the 4 things that we needed to work on and grow in. And that's what he did. I mean, he went from 12 points a game. If you just add the free throws right there, he's already at 15 to 16. And then obviously you add some more scoring and playmaking at the rim, and he got to 19 to 20 points a game.
Ali Farokhmanesh, he's the head coach of Colorado State. He helped coach Nique Clifford during his 2 years there. What type of guy is he? Is he quiet? Is he a vocal leader? Tell me about him as a person.
That he's the most elite teammate you're ever going to have. And I think there's the one thing that I can point to, the story that always comes to mind to me is, so he was at Colorado before. Obviously, Colorado State don't like each other. So that year, his first year with us, we beat Colorado at home. So they really don't like us now. But then some of his best friend, Tristan Da Silva, who's now with the Orlando Magic, they're having senior night in Colorado, and we're off. I think we had like a 2-day break or something. Well, he decides to drive up from Fort Collins to Boulder, which is about a 40-minute drive, on Tristan's senior night. It was up for Tristan Da Silva's senior night. I don't know too many guys that would do that in general, but much less you're going into enemy territory at the same time. And I think that just speaks volumes to the type of teammate he is as well. You're not only getting an elite basketball player, but the type of teammate that you want not only with the other guys in your locker room, but also in the community.
That's outstanding. Coach, thank you so much for your time, man. Know you're super busy this time of year, so really appreciate you hopping on with us, telling us about Nique Clifford, and best of luck with the head job there at Colorado State.
No, I appreciate it, guys. You got some new Sacktown fans now.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.